We've got a should you summon for Ultra Buuhan, the newest character in Dragon Ball Legends. You want to know whether you should summon, so in this video I'm going to be giving you everything you need to know, starting with some things you should consider before summoning, and then I'll also go into the kit details of what this unit can do, and then I'll tell you whether I think it's worth it for you to summon and whether I'm going to be summoning, as I know a lot of you guys base your opinion on what I'm doing. Let's get into this. Here are some things you should consider before doing anything regarding summons. Consider your chrono crystals. It might not be worth it to just get one copy of the unit, as they might still be bad, but I'll also point out that if you're a collector, this whole video is pointless because you'd be summoning regardless, or you'll just do what you want. But with a low amount of chrono crystals, you obviously have a lower chance of getting the unit. You still might get the unit if you have a low amount of chrono crystals, or you might want more copies of that unit. So once you get that first copy, it might not have been worth it to even get them, leading you to be disappointed. So if you had more chrono crystals before you went all the way in, it overall would have been more worthwhile. Next, I'll say not to summon straight away. You should know that the banner is going to start on the 28th of January and it's going to end on the 20th of February, which is quite a bit of time. With this being the case, I advise at least waiting 3 days to a week before summoning on the banner, so you can know whether the unit's for you for two reasons. One, you can watch showcases to gain a widespread opinion. Content creators big and small is what I advise you should watch, because every account has a different build, different equipments, and the creator will do a different thing with the unit. Somebody else can just take the fall for you to find out whether the unit's good or bad. And on top of that, ultimately the meta is what dictates whether the unit will be good or bad. So even if a content creator makes the unit look good, within the next 3 days, if nobody's using the new Ultra, you'll know they're not that good. Or at least if you don't see them as often, that could be your basis on whether you think it's worth it to summon or not. I also advise considering the near future. There could be other surrounding units that could be more of your interest. The anniversary isn't anywhere near. It's going to start at the end of May, so you don't need to consider that for now, but there could be a campaign that's next that could be more hype than this for you. And finally, I want to emphasize that my judgment in this video is not final. When I make these should you summons, it's considering all the information we have as of current. We don't have the in-game stats, and we haven't seen the unit play in-game, and how they play in-game isn't always how it presents itself when we read the kit. But I am a long-time player. I've been playing this game for 7 years, the whole 7 years. I'm a 56 times god rank player, so I'm quite a veteran when it comes to this. But even with that, I'm telling you to take my opinion with a grain of salt. Let's get into the kit now. Right, so we have Ultimate Gohan Absorbed Boost Super Abilities. Let's get into this. So here we have the tags and the element: Regeneration, Absorption, Powerful Opponent, Margin Boost Saga for the Saga, of course, element red. Here we have the Z ability at Z4, which is 14 stars. You can get 42% strike attack and strike defense. If regeneration, in addition, you get ultimate / awaken damage plus 5%. I will also note that obviously the numbers go down when you get to different star levels. So at 5 stars, you'll have at least Z ability 2, and then at 6 stars, you will have Z ability 3, which you mainly will be getting this ultimate awaken damage plus 3%, and this. That's if you get 2 copies, because 1 ultra copy is 5 stars. Cool. Let's go into the ultra ability. It's important to note that if you're running a regen team, they do not need to be on the leader slot, but consider all your units need to be regeneration, hence this. Otherwise, you should put them on the leader slot to get the full ultra ability. The strike attack here, you got blast armor on it, and every time you press one, you get 3% HP. The blast attack here, nothing special, but you get 3% HP every time you're doing so. They're really trying to make the regen tag the regen tag. Here we have the blue card, massive damage on activation, special move damage plus 20%, nullify element disadvantages 5 timer counts, and this is 3 times. Note it can be cancelled. On hit, you get a green card and plus 30 key. It's a forward moving type and it has blast armor. Next, we got the green card, and it's quite detailed, so pay attention here. The most important feature of Boost special arts is that you gain auto counters the first time you use one. Whatever you do, you'll want to use one special art. So you press the first green card and it's a standstill, and what it does is summons the ghost that Buuhan has in his animations. So based on special arts uses, first draw 1 card, key plus 40, unique gauge 100%, and nullify special cover changes 5 timer counts. Here it says also after special arts activation, you get the 3 auto counters, right? So once you pop that first one, you got the auto counters active. So anytime you take an attack that can be auto countered, it's only strike and blast, by the way, it will activate the auto counter. But your green card beyond the first one is going to be a beam attack attack. It's a long range beam attack. Change to range special arts. On activation, you'll get a card and key. And if you hit it, you get cover null, you get endurance null, which is for 10 timer counts, which is pretty good. Cancel attribute downgrades. All enemy damage received plus 20% for 10 timer counts. And as you can see, it can combo every single card, which is pretty good. Here, the ultimate art, supreme damage, and it's the explode type. Ultimate damage plus 20%. Nullify endurance for 10 timer counts. Lots of cases it will get cancelled, but not always, so it could be useful. And on hit, you will deal half of the damage to enemy standby members. So it does AoE damage. It's a forward range moving one, and it has blast armor, hence this symbol here. Main ability, you draw the ult, you get 40% HP. Key, you nullify element disadvantages completely, which is pretty good. Cancel enemy buff effects as well on the main ability, which is obviously useful. And it only takes 25 timer counts for this to go through, which is the normal amount. Here we have the starter ability, 330% damage, which is actually very good. This is more than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Damage guard 250, which is also more than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Draw speed +1, nullify paralyze, and nullify immobilize, and heavily immobilize. Now heavily immobilize, I'm not too sure what it is, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the type of thing that activates when you get auto counter. For example, if Ultra Majin Vegeta auto counters, you pretty much can't move. I think it's that, but don't quote me on that. If you know what it actually is, let me know in the comment section. Now we've got the unique ability here. It's just a simple thing that keep him going. So every 10 timer counts have elapsed from the battle start. This bit here is pretty interesting. The main thing is that he's going to heal 5% every 10 timer counts, even if he's not on the battlefield, which is amazing. But these bits here, they're contingent on you not losing your attribute upgrades. So here we have damage plus 30% up to 180%. So this in total will allow him to have 510% if I remember the numbers that I did correctly, because you can get 180, and then here you can also get 330, which is actually a very good amount. If you add it all together, it'll be 510%, but you probably won't be at 510% at any point in the battlefield. Reason being is because it's an attribute upgrade. You're getting plus 30 every 10 timer counts, but if your attribute upgrades get taken away, you'll go down to the 0. But then 10 timer counts pass again, you can get another 30, 60, 90, etc. up to 180%. And the same thing applies with special moves. So it will be 10, 10, 10, 6 up to 60%. So that's 60 timer counts. Damage guard 5%. It's going to be 6 times. Key recovery 20% up to 120%. You see in the cases, it's 60 timer counts to max out on all of these. And if your attribute downgrades get taken away, then you'll go down to 0, but at least you can earn them back. That's just something to note. You'll probably be hovering around 60, 90 is what I imagine, depending on who you're fighting, of course. On battlefield entry, card and key, which are the most important things, but he also has cover null, and he's also going to destroy a card and draw a green card for the first time he enters the battlefield. So I would advise against starting with him if you're going to use him. Also, if enemy health is 50% or more, he's going to draw a card if he has 3 or fewer, protect hand for 3 timer counts, which is nice, and all enemy health restoration minus 40% for 10 timer counts. When hit by enemy strike / blast arts or 1 time, activations reset on switch or auto counter activation. Enemy key minus 35, and then all enemy special move ultimate awakened arts cost plus 15, and the power goes down minus 40. So it will make it seem like it's easier for him to tank hits, which is obviously effective considering he doesn't have any survivabilities. Spoiler, but we would have went past it already if he did. When hit by enemy special arts 3 times, this can activate. Enemy key minus 70. So any green cards he's hit with, he's going to take away their key, so they can't chain it into a blue card. Explosive greens, for example. When on battlefield, an enemy activates special move, ultimate art, awakened art, or rising rush, shock, buff cancellation. This can happen 3 times, and ally sub counts minus 5, so you can switch him out and switch him into somebody that has endurance to tank the hit, such as Janemba. He has a strike cover change that can be comboed into a blue, and here we talk about his counter and release type gauges. So when it's counter type, so it starts as counter type, when gauge reaches 0%, it will switch to the release type, and unique gauge plus 100%, key plus 50, and it says here release type until unique gauge reaches 0, you get health restoration plus 40%, so it's helping that regeneration factor he has in his kit, and this is uncancelable. Protect key, uncancelable. Nullify damage received, element disadvantage, uncancelable. So he's going to be type neutral defensively for a pretty good amount of time. Nullify attribute downgrades, uncancelable, and counter type consumed by 35% on auto counter activation. Here, release type decreases very slowly when on battlefield, and this is what's going to be a decent amount of time when I was referring to this. Counter type consumed by 35% when auto counter activation. The auto counter here, auto counter type A, after special arts activation, when hit by counterable attack, destroy 1 card, then draw special move arts next 2 times. Health health plus 20%, ultimate damage plus 20%, uncancelable, allied sub counts -3, enemy damage balls, enemy dragon balls -1, enemy sub counts on switch +4 for 10 timer counts. Like I said earlier, it can only counter strikes and blasts, but if the auto counter does go off, you can combo a blue and ultimate only into it. That's everything about his kit. It would have been nice if he had endurance, considering he is a regen unit, so you kind of want to keep him alive, but he does have a lot of healing properties, which obviously is good if they're planning to make the regen tag an actual regen tag. Now we need to get into whether I think it's worth it for you guys to summon or not. I think whether you summon on this unit depends on two things: the team you use and whether you like him. If you like Boo, but you only want to summon whether he's good or not, you then need to consider the team you're going to use. And I think this guy could be a very good leader slot option. In my stream, I referred to him as a honeymoon ultra, and there's a lot of reasons for that. What does that even mean? First off, I would refer to a honeymoon ultra as a unit that's going to be good in the first week or two, but people don't really like them in the first place. So there's Buuhan. He's not the most popular unit. That shouldn't be a hot take. So for him to be a selling point, he really needs to be good in game, similar to Android 13. For an ultra, I think he's doing a good job. And I think on the leader slot, he will bring you results, especially because he's not restricted. But would I say most people actually run a regen team or a powerful opponent team? Definitely not. But those will be the teams that he's going to be most optimal on, around the likes of CMZ, Janemba, Android 13, etc. There's not many other powerful opponents that are super good right now. But why I refer to him as a honeymoon ultra is if you summon for him and you're running units like Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, etc., you can just leader slot this guy and you'll get good results out of him. He can cancel buffs, so you can use him as that guy that gets the buffs out of the way when an ultimate, blue card, etc. comes your way, and you switch him into anybody with endurance. And that doesn't need to be somebody on powerful opponent or regeneration. It could be somebody on Saiyans, it could be somebody on Sun Fam, it could be somebody on hybrid Saiyans, and you could still get use out of him. But for how long will you get that use out of him before he's replaced by a unit that fits your team perfectly? That's why I refer to him as a honeymoon ultra, because he's not beating the popularity bracket. He simply isn't. He's just not popular. But will he be decent in PvP? I do think so. So will I say he's worth it to summon on? Sure, but I do not think he will last long term. Red powerful opponents have a history of getting taken out. For example, Ultra Perfect Cell got countered by the likes of Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. We have Final Form Cooler, the red one, got countered by Blue Beast Gohan. We have Ultra Hit on release had to deal with MVP 17, even though they're on the same team, the first instance of buff cancellation and endurance together. Very crazy. So I don't have high expectations for Buuhan, especially long term. Or short term, he might be decent, but consider how valuable that is to you. And you want to know whether I'm going to be summoning? Is ZAKASHI going to be summoning on Ultra Buuhan? Now I'll keep it a bean. I said I wasn't going to summon on Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and then I ended up doing a rotation, but it wasn't because I was going against my word. I simply had 20k CC, and because I was going to get past the cap, I would miss out on exchange drop CC, and I didn't want to do that. So I did a rotation and I ended up getting him. That's just lucky. For Buuhan, I don't think he'll be seeing me in any capacity. Main reason being, I have 20k CC right now, but I still want to summon on the Daima characters because I don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I also don't have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, the adults, and they're both on the banner. So I want to get them before Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta loses his perks on the banner, and potentially Ultra Margin Vegeta will probably return since he's on 8 tier boost. I'll probably go for him instead. Buuhan's not a unit I will use long term, meaning that I shouldn't summon on him because I'm not going to get use out of him beyond this meta, and that tells me I'm just not interested. But yeah man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and hopefully it was helpful. Let me know whether you're going to be summoning on Ultra Buuhan or not. One thing I will say though, his animations are really good and they're polished. The facial expressions, the ghosts are doing a lot for his animations, and I like that they did that for him. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching man. My name is ZAKASHI guys, and I will see you guys in the next one man.